So the next cookie or treat we're gonna make are candy cane cookies, and these are cookies that were extremely special to me growing up. Mom made them every year, passed it on to all of us girls, and we all make them every year still. And I'm passing it on to my daughters too. They make them too, or one of them does. One of them's only 2, so she doesn't make anything yet, except for a mess. So let's get started with these. Pretty easy. They do have to chill for a little bit. The dough has to chill for about an hour. So let's just get going. So we're gonna start with 1/2 cup of shortening and 1/2 cup of butter creamed in your mixer. One, two, three, 1/2. I like these sticks of shortening to make it pretty easy to get measurements done. So there's 1/2 cup of shortening. 1 stick of butter is half a cup of butter. And let's just get that cream together. All right, and once the butter and shortening are creamed really well, go ahead and scrape down your bowl, and you're gonna add in 1 cup of powdered sugar. And get that quickly mixed up. And then next you're going to add in 1 egg. We have chickens, so farm fresh eggs. I like to crack them first into something else, make sure that they are okay. Nothing is worse than cracking open an egg to use directly in your bowl and it have an issue. So we got an egg, then we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. Who only adds a teaspoon of vanilla to anything? I don't understand. Once again, this is homemade vanilla. Do like 1 1/2. And then you're also going to add, let's see, a teaspoon and 1/2 of almond extract. That seems excessive to me. If you don't care for almond extract, you can do peppermint extract in these cookies, and that would be really good too, especially since they're, candy cane cookies. I'm just gonna do a teaspoon, I think. I really like almond extract, especially in these cookies, because that's the way my mom made them. So let's give that a little mix. Make sure you're scraping down the sides of your bowl. And keep it going. And finally, you're gonna add some flour. We're gonna add 2 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus some salt. You're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You're gonna brush the teeth? Good. Brush, brush, brush. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. One more little mix. Okay, so now that the dough is mixed up, we need to do a final scrape down. Let's get this beater off. And we're going to divide the dough in half. We're going to leave one half of the dough the natural color, and the other half we're going to color red, so that we have red and white for candy cane. Then you're just going to wrap it up and put it in the fridge for about an hour. Let it chill and firm up a bit. So let's make sure we get final scrape. Sometimes I like to do 2 batches of this dough just to be sure that I have an equal amount of red and white, because it never fails that I'll end up with more of one color than the other. If you want to be super finicky about it, you could weigh it out. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to take my rubber spatula, divide it in half, approximately. Take that out onto some plastic wrap. And then we're just going to flatten it out, wrap it up, stick it in the fridge to chill, and then we will add some red food coloring to this half, and then get that wrapped up as well. And there we have the red dough all made up. So I'm just going to get these wrapped up, put in the fridge, and we'll wait about an hour before we come back and roll them up. All right, moving on to candy cane cookies. The dough has been chilling for about an hour. So I just took them out, the red and the white dough. And what you're going to do is, I like to use my cookie scoop for this just to make sure that the pieces are the same size. So you're going to take one of the white and one of the red. There we go. And you're going to roll them into snakes. Let's see, what is that? That's maybe 3 or 4 inches long. It doesn't really matter, just you want them to be the same. Here's where people struggle with these cookies, because the dough is kind of tender. And so kind of wants to break apart on you, so use delicate hands. So then you line them up next to each other, and I hold the top together, pinch the top together slightly with one hand while I kind of roll the bottom half to get a candy cane like that, okay? And then I give them a little bit of roll together to sort of mash them together a little bit. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to take a cookie sheet. It's lined with some parchment paper. I'm going to transfer the cane onto the cookie sheet and give it a little bit of a crook. You're going to want to kind of sort of manipulate it a little bit so that it doesn't come apart on you. And there you have it. One little candy cane cookie. And you're just going to do that for all of them. And so here we have the finished candy cane cookies. You bake them in a 375-degree oven for about 9 minutes until they are lightly golden. Very lightly golden. You don't want to overcook these guys. And there you go. Now, if you had wanted to, before you bake them, you could sprinkle some crushed candy canes mixed with some sugar on top. I never do. I just bake them as is. And they're delicious, and everybody loves them. Candy cane cookies.